Hello, my name is David Snyder with Western Governors University, and I'm here to talk to you today about the benefits of cloning. Over the years, the ideas, methods, and laws surrounding the science of cloning have changed drastically. Many government bans have been placed on the science of human and non-human cloning, restricting nearly any advancement in this technology. Many people fear that cloned meat would be unhealthy or cloned humans unethical. The truth of cloning, however, could be used in many different ways. With what information we do have on the science, we know that soon it would be possible to regrow organs for transplant and to engineer cloned meat to be more nutritious for human consumption. Cloning, although controversial, can provide benefits such as faster and more reliable health care for medically needy patients, as well as an increased, healthier food supply at a cheaper cost. During this presentation, I would like to talk to you more about how therapeutic cloning, also known as stem cell research, would improve the medical needs of those waiting on organ transplants, and how reproductive cloning improves the nutritional values of meat and milk derived from cloned animals. Through therapeutic cloning, or stem cell research, the wait time for organ transplant would be greatly reduced due to the ability to grow new organs from a person's own cells. The use of the person's own cells will greatly reduce the chance of the organ being rejected, increasing the chances of a successful transplant. This information comes from the pros and cons of human cloning in 2002. This here is information brought from the Scientific Registry of Transplant Recipients. As you can see from the slide, the actual wait list for organ transplants is on a steadily growing incline. Let's take kidneys for instance. At the start of 2010, there were 80,559 people waiting for an available kidney. At the end of the year, we are now sitting at 86,071 people waiting for these same kidneys. Now, when looking at such large numbers, 5,512 additional people doesn't sound like much. But let's look at this a different way. A 747 passenger plane seats approximately 420 people. Divided up, that's almost 14 plane crashes a year, resulting in deaths. What is even worse is that along with this increase in people actually on the list, there were 34,091 additional people registering to be added. As you can see, the numbers are quite similar with the other transplantable organs as well. This growing problem could be fixed by the use of organ cloning, and something must be done before we are all lying on hospital beds waiting for organ transplants. Through reproductive clonings, animals with desired traits could be manufactured to a level of mass production, eradicating the growing problems of world hunger. The food you eat every day could be altered to have healthier nutrient ratio without increasing the cost. This would help with the growing problems of obesity and even diabetes across the globe. In 2008, the FDA stated that food and milk derived from cloned animals and their offspring was safe to eat. Not only was it safe to eat, but there was so little difference in the meat that it wasn't required that they label the packaging as cloned meat. During the cloning process, the genetics of the cloned animal can be tweaked to provide a better nutrient ratio, including lower saturated fat content and higher protein. As I stated before, cloning, although controversial, can provide benefits such as faster and more reliable health care for medically needy patients, as well as an increased, healthier food supply at a cheaper cost. With government allowance of cloning practices, some of the problems plaguing our world today, including the medical need for organ transplants and the growing blight of world hunger, could be greatly improved upon. Before making a personal decision about cloning, remember that one day cloning could save you or your children's lives. Does anybody have any questions?
What are the possible side effects of cloned food?
According to the FDA, nothing negative for human consumption was found in the milk and meat derived from cloned animals. Essentially, the only side effect that would be prominent is a healthier lifestyle due to the lower fat ratio.
How long does a process like cloning an organ take? Would it be probable for the cloned organ to meet the growing need for organ transplants?
The process itself could vary, ranging from 1 year to maybe even 10 years, depending on what needs to be cloned. However, these organs would be able to be generated in advance to any problems arising, making the organs readily available for the time that it was needed. With further research in this medical field, the cloning process may be able to be shortened down to even a matter of months for even the most complicated of organs.
In order to obtain these organs for transplant, do you clone a person as a whole or just the organ itself?
While both methods would essentially be possible, cloning the organ by itself would be more time and cost effective, not to mention more ethically moral.
No.
Right? Thank you for coming to the presentation, and you guys have a nice day.